Hello and welcome yet again to the Wii U 5. As I mentioned, I'm going to be giving indie games some love, so on to our second indie game review in a row. It's odd how little attention people give to indie games when they provide gaming experiences that can best, if not sharpen, the best of gamers. It's games like this one that harken back to the days of just skill. Scram Kitty and His Buddy on Rails is a Wii U exclusive indie game developed by Dako Dako. It's a quirky, if not addictive, arcade-style, on-rails, top-down shooter. Oh, and it's incredibly difficult. Like most indie games, the control schemes are generally rather simple and belie the difficulty of the game itself. You have one button to shoot and one button to jump. The left stick moves you along the rails, and the rest is up to you. And that's where it gets incredibly tricky. The physics take some time to get used to, as do the shooting mechanics, leading to a high difficulty and steep learning curve. At first, it all seems so easy in concept, but when the going gets rough and situations heat up, you will find yourself either dying a lot or constantly farming enemy spawns for health so you can try again. And the thing is, you will try again, and again, and again. Somehow, some way, this game addicts you to its challenge. While there is no level timer and no lives, the game relies so heavily on your skill that dying simply feels like your own failure in this situation, making persistent individuals such as myself keep going at it until success is achieved. And then there's these scared cats that jump around the level when you try to rescue them, and I can safely tell you they are a total pain in the butt. Come here, you son of a... Indie games aren't known for lasting a long time or providing deep, lengthy experiences. This is more or less the expectation one should have when venturing into indie games. Scram Kitty and His Buddy on Rails will last you about 5 hours on the first playthrough. There aren't really any bonuses either. If you go back to rescue every cat, it'll last significantly longer, but that's all there is to it. Rescuing cats. The maze-like levels do lead to some exploration factor if you wish to save them all, but there's just not much to say about content. And if you're feeling particularly bold and skillful, the arcade mode will provide a reason to tear your hair out. So while there are enough levels to justify the price, there isn't much beyond that. First and foremost, the art style and graphics are distinctively simple. There won't be anything visually that will bother you, and the game is very easy and pleasing on the eyes. However, what's really a standout is the music. For some reason, the music enhances the arcade experience, making you feel like you just want to get in there again. It never felt repetitive, even though I had to listen to some tracks time and time again just trying to get that scared cat. In fact, some levels have music that you just want to listen to, like this one. With a clean art style and good music, the game presents itself well. Unfortunately, there is one flaw in this department. The game defaults to the gamepad as your main screen, and I found myself having to switch this every time I played. It doesn't factor into gameplay, and so it presents an odd presentation choice to assume the player will be playing on the gamepad as a main screen by default. While there isn't a whole lot to talk about, the game presents itself as a silly, small, yet wholeheartedly arcade-like experience. And in this it succeeds, being both addictive and challenging. Those two right there make this a recommendation. Its $10 price is perfectly justified by what it delivers, and in the end this is one of those games that you won't regret purchasing. Unless of course you don't like a challenge. I give Scram Kitty and His Buddy on Rails an 8 out of 10. There's really no shortage of good indie titles to be found on the Wii U. Not to mention this number is growing regularly. Like my Facebook fan page, follow me on the Twitter machine, and subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. See you next week on the Wii U 5.